Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the brand new Anis Euros in GTA Online. This thing is based off of a Nissan 370Z. It's brand new with the tuners update. I've already customized it once for the channel, but I figured I would do it again. Now some things on the car are already customized and I'm not going to change them. The interior, for example, I'm just going to leave it alone because chances are you guys have seen all the new interiors by now anyways, and what you're actually interested in is the outside of the car and how it looks. That's what I'm interested in, at least. Let's hop in and get customizing. So with my previous build, I went for a pretty clean look with the car, but I think I want to go for something a little more aggressive with this one. So we're going to start off with the bumpers and the front bumpers. We can add the track bumper, rally bumper, or the performance bumper. Honestly, they're like really ugly, but I think we're going to go for the track bumper. I think it's the best looking out of the options there. For the rear bumpers, we can add the street bumper, the racer bumper, or the super bumper. We're going to go for the super bumper. I want this thing to be more of like a track focused car, so that's what we're doing. For the chassis, we can add a roof scoop if we want to. We can go for a street scoop, secondary street, carbon street, racing scoop, secondary or carbon racing scoop, rally scoop, secondary or carbon as well, performance scoop, secondary performance or the carbon performance, jet scoop, secondary jet or carbon jet. I think we're gonna go for the jet scoop. I think it's a pretty aggressive look. I like it. With the headlight covers, we can add primary headlight covers, secondary carbon, red, green, blue, yellow, or iridescent as well. I'm not a super huge fan of the headlight glass, so I think I'm actually just gonna leave it alone. Now for the engine, we can go into the engine block. We can add a primary intake, secondary intake, titanium intake, or the carbon intake. Let's do the carbon intake. Why not? For the rail cover, we can add a bridge rail cover, carbon bridge rail cover, primary stock, secondary stock, dash rail covers, carbon dash rail covers, secondary dash rail covers, ridge rail covers, carbon ridge rail, secondary ridge rail, or stock. We're going to go for the carbon ridge rail. I like that look. For the strut brace, you guys have probably already seen all of these, so I'm just going to go for one and you guys will, probably know what's up. I'm going to go for the racer strut brace. The engine is already upgraded on this car, by the way, so is the turbo and the transmission and the armor and brakes. Next up, we got the exhaust. We can add titanium exhausts, angled exhausts, titanium angled, performance, titanium performance, or carbon. Honestly, I like the titanium angled. I think it looks pretty good. For the front fenders, we can add secondary fenders, carbon fenders, primary air fenders, secondary or carbon as well. Or we can add wide fenders, secondary carbon wide, or secondary carbon wide fender. Okay, I'm not really sure. Let's just go for the wide fenders. I think that's pretty good. For the hood, we can add hood catches. We can go chrome, angled, latch, or blue latch, red latch, or gold latch. Let's go red. The hood itself, we can go for a vented hood, carbon vented, secondary vented, street hood, secondary street, carbon street, racer hood, secondary and carbon as well. Can also add a rally hood, secondary, carbon, skid hood, secondary or carbon as well, clear hood. These are pretty cool. Tinted hood or back to stock. I think we're probably gonna go for the there's a lot of good looking hoods on this thing actually. Let's go for the rally hood. I think it looks pretty cool. Next up, we're gonna skip the interior. For the headlights, we're going to go xenon. For the livery, we can add a black stripe, white stripe, arrow stripes, jet blue stripes, Euros yellow, Euros green, Jackal Racing, Stance Andreas, chicane checker, or we have the locked liveries that you actually have to get ranked up in the car meet to unlock. They all look really cool actually. I think we're probably going to go for something like the Jackal Racing one though. I think that's pretty it's a pretty neat look. Now for the mirrors, we can go secondary or carbon for them. Let's go carbon. The plate, yellow on black. For the respray, now this is going to be the interesting part. It does look really good in black actually, but it also probably looks good in a bunch of other different colors. So let's actually check. Ooh, it does look pretty good in ultra blue as well. Diamond blue too. You know what? I like diamond blue. I don't know. We've already done this car in yellow, so I kind of want to stay away from yellow. What about the crew color? How does the crew color look on here? It looks pretty mean. I do kind of like that. I don't know how well it fits with the car though, so Let's see. What about a green of some sort, like gasoline green? Gasoline green looks pretty good. Let's actually go for that. The secondary, let's go gasoline green as well. Oh, actually, the secondary color does just little details all around the car. Maybe we should go for something brighter, like maybe maybe like an ultra blue or something. I kind of like that. It kind of does little highlights here and there. Let's do it. Why not? Next up, we got the roof. We can add a stock roof, secondary roof, carbon roof, sweep roof, secondary sweep, carbon sweep, ridgeline, ridgeline secondary, carbon ridgeline, inset roof, inset secondary, inset carbon, or back to stock. Let's go for the ridgeline roof, but in the normal color. For these skirts, we can add street skirts, carbon street skirts, GT skirts, carbon GT, racer skirts, carbon racer, jet skirt, carbon jet, rally skirt, carbon rally, aero skirts, or carbon aero skirts. Let's go for aero skirts. I like that. Those are pretty clean. For these splitters, we can add rally canards, sting splitter, carbon sting splitter, arc splitter, carbon arc splitter, rally splitter, racer, or drift. Let's go for the drift splitter. I like that a lot. That looks pretty aggressive for sure. For the spoiler, we can add a drag spoiler, secondary drag, GT spoiler, secondary GT, sprint spoiler, rhino spoiler, secondary rhino, arc spoiler, secondary arc, carbon arc, arc mark II, secondary and carbon as well, or the street spoiler, race spoiler, race mark II, or back to none. I think we're gonna go for the race mark II spoiler. I like that. That looks pretty aggressive. For the sun strips, we can add one. I think we actually will. Why not? Suspension. Let's lower this thing down all the way. Next up, we got the wheels. I think I want to try out some of the new rims on this thing. Let's actually see which ones look good with this. Ooh, honestly, the Forged 5 look pretty good. We might go with those. Let's see what else we got here. The High 5s also look pretty clean, as well as the Super Lux. Man, I don't know. I think we might have to go for the Super Lux. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see what color we want to go for with the rims. Man. Almost tempted to go for a blue to match up with the secondary, but I just don't know. I actually might end up changing the secondary color, to be honest. Let's go for frost white for the wheels, and then let's actually go back to the respray and change the secondary color to metallic ice white. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better, I think. Next up, okay, let's actually do a tire design on this thing. We can add a logo on the side of the tires. Let's go Hikaru white. I like that. Next up, the windows, let's tint those all the way out. And then this thing is pretty much done, I think, guys. Let's take it down to the ground. We're going to do a sound test and a review. All right, guys, let's see how this thing actually sounds. Definitely sounds pretty good. Could sound a little better, but it's not bad, that's for sure. Off the line, quite a bit of wheel spin. This car is rear wheel drive only, as you guys will see in 1 second here, just in case you didn't know that. Let's actually see how this thing drives. I've already driven this thing once before. Obviously, I've customized it before, so I've done a review as well. But it's a really fun car. It is super fun. I have a feeling that when you actually drift this thing, it's probably when it's at its best. It handles decently well, but the back end tends to slide out a little bit more than you'd probably like it to, which is a bit unfortunate, but, you know, you can work around it, I think. I mean, oh boy, of course the Hummer comes out of nowhere and just, okay, well, my bad. I'm interested to see how this thing actually handles. It's raining right now, but as I was saying, it's raining right now, so you'd expect it to be having a bit of an issue, but so far so good. It's actually handling itself pretty well. I'm impressed with this, actually. I'm interested to see how well it handles itself in the twisty section of the test right here in the rain. Oh yeah, that back end definitely likes to slide out a little bit. Like I said though, I think this thing is definitely going to be a pretty great drift car. It's already doing pretty good drifting in the rain like this, so you know, with the low grip tires on it and everything, I think this thing could probably be a bit of a menace at drifting. Honestly though, like in the dry conditions, it does handle like pretty decently. That back end is a little bit tail happy, but it's not a bad thing. It's not, you know, unmanageable, I think you can definitely work around it. If you want the thing to actually handle well, it can do it, that's for sure. Thing's pretty fast too. It's definitely not a slow car. It could be a little faster, but you know, of course it could be. Everything can always be faster, so. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the customization and the review today. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Subscribe if you guys are new. Go check out my other videos that I've done today. I've customized all the DLC cars if you haven't seen those already. I've also customized the auto shop and everything like that, so if you want to check that out, it's there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.